Hi, kindergarten. I am back with our second mini lesson in our series of 3. The last time we met, we talked about how, as a reader, when we're reading our books, we're solving our tricky words, using our pictures, getting our mouth ready, finding parts we know. But sometimes when we're reading, we might solve the word and not be completely sure we're right, and we want to check it. And maybe you ask the person who's helping you if that's right. I want to teach you ways to check to see, am I right? Is that word right? And the way to do that is to answer 3 questions. Does it make sense? Does it sound right? Does it look right? Our last mini lesson, I showed you what it meant to think, does it make sense? Today's mini lesson, we're going to think, does that sound right? And I'm going to show you, what does that mean? Does that sound right? And in our last mini lesson, we will talk about whether or not a word looks right. And then we'll put it all together and ask ourselves, does it make sense? Does it sound right? Does it look right? And that will help us check to see if we are solving tricky words correctly. Now, before we get into our mini lesson, I have another quick word work activity that you can do at home. Here we go. Hi, kindergarten. I have another word sort for us today. Today's word sort is using digraphs. Digraphs are when you take 2 sounds and you put them together and you get a new sound, like this. S goes S, H goes but when I put them together, they go sh. T says T, and H says but when I put them together, they say th. So our word sort today is going to be words that start with the sh sound and the th sound. But I want you to play along. So I would like you to go get a piece of paper and a crayon or some crayons or a pencil or a pen. I want you to put a line down the middle, a line across the top. Write your SH, write your TH, and when you have all that done, come back because we will do our activity. Okay, ready? Go. All right, now that you have everything and you're back, let's do our word sort. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this so that you cannot see it. I'm going to put it down here, okay? I'm going to hold up my card. I'm going to say the word, and you're going to draw a picture of it under the SH for sh or the TH for th, wherever you think it goes. Just a quick sketch, doesn't have to be perfect. And then we'll go to the next one. And when we're all done, I will show you my chart and you can check and see, did you put your words in the right spot? Are you ready to begin? Here we go. Our first picture is 3. 3. 3. Okay, make a 3 in this on your chart. Where do you think it goes? SH or TH? Did you make your 3? Okay. Ooh, this is a good one. Are you ready? Our next picture is a shark. Shark. All right, draw a picture of a shark on your chart. I'm going to put it where I think it goes. Real fast picture of your shark. You don't have to take very long. Ready for the next one? Is your shark done? Okay, here we go. Ship. Ship. Draw your ship. Did you draw your ship? Okay, let's do the next one. Ready? And if your picture's not quite done, that's okay. You know what it is. The next one is thumb. Thumb. All right. Draw a thumb on your chart. Did you get it? Okay. 2 more. Ready? sheep. Sheep. All right. Sheep. Draw a picture. Remember, it's just a quick sketch. Doesn't have to be perfect. The only person that's going to see it is you. Okay, is your sheep done? Last one. It's another number. It's the number 13. 13. Where do you think it goes? Is that a sh or a th? 13. Remember, a 13 is a 1 and a 3. All right, kindergarten, are you ready? Here we go. I'm going to turn my chart around and you can take a peek and see if your chart matches my chart. I'll also quickly read through the words that I put under each digraph to see if they match. Are you ready? Okay, here we go. Got your chart up. There it is. Let me make sure you can see it. Oh, there it is. Okay, so for my SH sh words, I have shark, ship, and sheep. For my TH th words, I have 3, thumb, 13. Do yours match? Do you have the same pictures in the same spots? If you do, pat your back and kiss your brain because you know your sh sound and your th sound. I hope you enjoyed this workbook. I hope you had a chance to do this activity with me, and I will be back with another little word sort next mini lesson. We're going to work on the middle sound. So hopefully you can try that one with me too. All right, kindergarten, so you just finished up with your word sort, right? I'm flipping my board because we're going to move right into our mini lesson because I want to make this quick, but we have a lot of work to do. Today, we are moving from making sure that a word makes sense, right? We had a bunch of words that made sense in our giraffe story, and now we're going to think about, does that word make sense, and does it sound right? When I read the sentence, does the word I say sound right in the sentence? If it doesn't, we're going to take it off of our board. Then in our next mini lesson, we're going to read the story again and see what words look right. We're going to look at the word in the story. And maybe we will be able to narrow it down to one word for each animal. What makes sense, what sounds right, and what looks right. And that is how we will check our reading. So here we go. We have our story, What is Very Long? We talked about the giraffe and his long neck, tail, and legs. I'm going to read the sentence and I want you to listen to see what sounds right and what doesn't sound right. And if it doesn't sound right, say, no, that doesn't sound right. And I will erase it from our board. Are you ready? The giraffe has a very long neck. That sounds right. The giraffe has a very long tail. That sounds right. The giraffe has a very long legs. No, that doesn't sound right. Let's try it again. The giraffe has a very long legs. No, that doesn't sound right. I'm going to erase legs because it makes sense, but it doesn't sound right. All right, not yesterday, but in our last mini lesson, we said that the frog had a long body and it has long legs. Let's read the sentence and see what sounds right. Are you ready? Listen closely. The frog has very long body. The frog has very long body? Oh, that doesn't sound right. I'm going to erase it. It makes sense, but it doesn't sound right. Let's try legs. The frog has very long legs. That sounds right. We'll leave legs up there. Okay. Next is our bird. We said beak and legs. Let's read our sentence. The bird has a very long beak. That sounds right. Let's try legs. The bird has a very long legs. The bird has a very long legs. No, that does not sound right. I'm going to take legs off our list. It makes sense, but it doesn't sound right. Next is our elephant. The elephant has a very long legs. A elephant has a very long legs. No, legs just isn't working in that sentence. It does not sound right. The elephant has a very long trunk. That sounds right. That could be the right word. We'll leave that one up there. Makes sense, and it sounds right. So far, so good. Now the monkey, we said long fingers, long toes, long tail, long arms. Let's read our sentence. I'm going to go through this one quickly. I'm going to say all 3 of them. Nope. I'm going to say all 4 of them. You give me a thumbs up if it sounds right and a thumbs down if it doesn't. Are you ready? Here we go. The monkey has a very long fingers. The monkey has a very long toes. The monkey has a very long tail. Pretty good. The monkey has a very long arms. That eliminated a lot of words there, kindergarten. Not fingers, not toes, and not arms. They do not sound right. Tail makes sense and sounds right. So we're going to leave that one up there for our next mini lesson. There's our rabbit. Now, rabbit, we just said ears because, wow, this rabbit had long ears. So let's see if it sounds right. The rabbit has very long ears. I think it sounds right. We'll leave it up there. We'll check it in our next mini lesson to make sure it looks right too. There's our walrus. Now, when we read the book last time, we weren't sure if these were teeth or if they were tusks. Let's read and see if they sound right. The walrus has very long tusks. Yeah, that sounds right. The walrus has very long teeth. Well, that sounds right too. So, tusks and teeth, they make sense and they sound right. We're going to have to check in our next mini lesson to see which one looks right, and then we'll know for sure which word is the right word. Last page. Last page is our hippopotamus, and I have to cover the words because they're at the top of this page. There he is, our hippopotamus. This one we said was kind of hard because he's not very long, but we said maybe his body is long or his head is long. So I'm going to read the sentence and you let me know. Yep, that sounds good. Nope, that does not sound right. The hippopotamus has a very long head. Yeah, I think that sounds right. Do you think that sounds right? He has a very long head. How about the hippopotamus has a very long body? Well, that sounds right too. So we're going to have to save those 2 words and do a looks right check in our next mini lesson. Now, kindergarten, we have narrowed down some words here. We used our does it make sense and does it sound right to bring us to a couple of words for each animal. In our next mini lesson, we're going to use our eyes to look at the word and see if the word looks right. And we will be able to decide which of these words makes sense, sounds right, and looks right. And that is how we will check our reading, because that's what readers do. So be sure to check in on our next mini lesson, because that will be the 3rd of the mini lessons, and it will bring this all together, and we'll be able to find out what words are actually in our story. So as you're reading, make sure that you take a minute to say, does that make sense in the story? Does that sound right? And if it doesn't, you might want to try something else. If it does, you maybe can just move on to the next word. Happy reading, and I'll see you in our next mini lesson so we can bring all of this together and we can do what readers do to check their reading. See ya.